Hello again, everybody. It's Milt here with Bijan Living Like a Boss, and today, April 24th of 2024, finds us back on the Army D4 Cat, and we're going to move ahead. Yesterday, we got this cable control unit off, which was quite an endeavor, but it come off there eventually. Interesting thing to note is down here on that drawbar, we'll just see if we can focus it in down there a bit. I noticed on this drawbar, once I got the cable control unit off, the Laterno had an extension for the drawbar to stick out way behind the CCU, which left this in one position for its whole life, I guess. Interesting thing is these pins here are just nice and round. Holes are nice and round. It's just like brand new. But the thing about this thing is it seems to be seized up. I can't swing it by hand. I gotta knock it over with the big sledge. So I'm going to take it apart underneath there, pull this out, and actually this is such good condition. I'm going to swap this drawbar out with my other cat that I had running, well, yesterday, and did the clutches on there last year. Its hitch is worn out. This bar is thinner. This guide plate is not there anymore. So I'm going to take the whole bar and put it on the other cat and just switch it across. This one won't, the way it's rigged up, it doesn't really use the swing and draw bar, so that's what we're going to do with that. So today what we're going to work on is removing these cotter pins or keeper pins. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 of them, and a nail. So we'll get the nail out. Got to get these arms to move so we can get the trunnions out of place. These all got to be worked at, freed up. These adjusting screws and set bolts, they got to be freed up. And in the head here, like these oil cups, everything is seized up on that shaft, including this whatever this is, a little coupler. I got the pins out of here that hold them in place, and I've got to clean out these holes here. Maybe we can't see it, we'll have to tilt. I've got to clean out these holes here. There's threaded, so I can get a hammer puller on it, but I'm sure I'm going to have to get the torch, heat up all these here mechanisms here, and get them to freed up and soak them in oil and whatnot. So that's what we're going to be working on, getting this thing freed up. Well, that's one keeper. Well, that's two. There, that's 4 out of the one side. Now we'll try this other side here. It's got a couple of nails involved. They might not be that easy to pull. All right, got all 8 out successfully, and there still isn't any darn movement hardly. It does move a little bit hammering on it, each of these pieces, but I think what we need first off is I'm going to get the torch on this collar, both of them on either side, and use a pipe wrench and some water, oil, whatever it's going to take, get them loosened up. Try to get this whole mechanism so at least it's free moving somewhat. Well, that ain't gonna give up yet, so I'm gonna quench it and reheat it. I already did the other side where I got the camera going just to see how difficult it would be, and I had to heat it, quench it, and heat it again, and then it gave out. So I'm hoping that's going to be the same here. We'll get her red hot again, and hopefully we'll be able to spin that little collar. This is my third D4 that I've been working on, and this is by far the rustiest of the 3. I could always get these mechanisms slid apart without too much difficulty. This is the first one that everything is just locked up solid. And bad enough, but it is nowhere as near as rusty as Kyle's on his channel. He's got an RD4 he took apart the back end there, and that I've never seen any rust in any machine to the extent he dealt with. But anyway, we're going to work on it, and we'll get this free here, I'm sure. We'll just put a little bit of a snipe on it, see what happens. We got her. She's turning. Yeah, this one is pretty free. Both of these are free on this end only. This is a little stub shaft in here that the pin goes in, and it's still locked up on this very end. Okay, that one broke free on both. Okay, that's got both of those collars freed up. I'm just gonna throw some oil on them, let them soak up a little bit. And these stubs are all been turning around in there, so they should be easy to pull out. And somehow we'll get the rest of it out. It's going to be a slow slug. Morning, everybody. It's April 25th, 24. Next morning, we're going to continue. We had a pretty good day yesterday. We're going to continue working on the throwout clutch release mechanism things, bars, rusted bearings, everything. And get at it. We had a little rain last night, but it's going to be a nice sunny day. So let's turn around and get at her. To start off with, we're going to chase these holes. I already got this one started, and I'm using my old worn out set of taps. They've been used to clean out holes a lot of times. So they're not good for cutting any new thread, that's for sure, but it's better than running a bolt inside these holes. So we'll just get these chased quick, and then try to line up some kind of a hammer, slide hammer pull to get these stub shafts out of the back here. They shouldn't be too bad because they've been turning around inside the casing. Okay, I don't have the right thread for my slide hammer, but I got a bolt run in there with a little edge to it, and it seems to be coming out. I might have to turn that nut around because it's domed on the inside. We'll put it this way so it's square. Just using the heel of the pipe wrench. It is got a lot of movement. It's coming. Okay, there's that one stub shaft off of this end. Okay, let's move over to the other side, see if we can do the same thing. Well, it's got movement. think the hole where the pin goes in has got a little burr to it. I'm gonna have to get a better system here, get a longer bolt and use a socket, I think, and just try to jack it out, putting spacers in. The bolt here is going off to the side, it's bending, so probably end up not good. Okay, what I got is this all thread or ready rod turned in there, and then I'm going to put a couple of 3/4 inch drive sockets on there, stack it up a bit. Got these two washers and this nut here. Run that on, and hopefully this is going to pull that stub shaft out. I think it's coming, yeah. It seems to have some pipe wrench marks. I can watch the shaft going through this pinhole here. Seems like it's got some old markings. So there, it's out. I got these stub shafts pulled out, of which I've realized they're not originally stub shafts. It's hard to pick up on. You can clearly see that as cut marks, I believe, from a hacksaw on both of them. Somewhere along the line, somebody had trouble or something or other trying to get this apart. So they cut the end of the shaft off where this coupler is. That's why that coupler is there, to line up the two ends. I don't understand why you would cut it, but somebody has cut it. I thought it was designed by a cat in two pieces, because my very first cat I took apart had a clamp in this area that you bolted from both sides. You took that off and the stub shaft come out, and you could work these freely. They'd all come out basically in one piece, like the whole assembly would work back and forth, come out in one piece. But I thought that was a similar thing here, but this is not original cat equipment, I'm sure, this collar. It just didn't make sense to me to have it there, but it's there, and this is why they had trouble, and they looks like they hacksawed them damn shafts apart. So now I'm gonna have to get that out and send it into the machine shop and have them welded back together. Oh, the things you find in these old girls, that's for sure. They're kind of interesting. Okay, what I want to do is start moving these arms back and forth to get the trunnion out at least. So I think we're almost there. Not quite enough space. Not enough space. I don't know if we can see what's holding us up here. It's this collar that's on the shaft. It doesn't allow all the stuff to travel as freely. This oil cup deal, it does travel. So it is free. I see the shaft is actually moving as I wiggle it, so this one won't be as bad as what I'm thinking. There's the one trunnion, all seized up, but that's a step ahead. That's not the way they're supposed to come apart, but it's about the only option that we have at our disposal. So that's the second trunnion, all seized apart. It'll take some work to get that free. The shaft turns free in there, so it's just a matter of, I'm going to get my little cordless buffer wheel and clean up some of that rust off the shafts and then try to work these free. Okay, I didn't capture the first part of this because it was just a lot of wiggling and tapping and whatnot, but I got it to come this way somewhat, so I don't think the end of it here is going to be too hard to do. We got it almost pulled out of that end, and we just got to slowly work it this way. Just tap this arm as it comes out the back. Tap this here one arm back plus that collar, and then I think you can see that it's going to work its way out slowly. So there we can get that one spacer already. So that's one piece an hour later. Just a tedious process. We'll hammer this one back, and the shaft, it's coming forward now. Just don't want to drop this here arm down into the cavity. We'll take any success that we can. Move my vice grip back an inch or so. Tap this arm back again, and we should have that arm near to the camera free. Of which it is. There's our next piece, and then this comes off. Now we're just clear sailing. Just got to get it move my vice grip. I'll just grab it on the end here that it's come out. It's going to be a wrestle all the way. I don't think hitting it on the end this lightly will mushroom it any, but don't want to hit it too hard. Boy, nuts. Still solid. This shaft is so discolored, it's black, it's almost like it was sitting in the septic tank. Okay, we're coming freer now. You got that spacer or washer. Well, there goes some pieces. There's that collar. That's not cat equipment. And this shaft is out. Here's our other arm with bearing complete. Now, I'll need the long pliers or something to get that spacer out of there, but there's all that. And I think this bearing is pretty toast, growly. So let's move on to the next side. All right, set up on the other side here, starting from scratch. I haven't done anything with it yet, but here goes. We're just going to start tapping, and this one here I think is the least frozen. We're starting out good. So there's the next arm, and well, of course, drop it on the ground. And there's our collar. Okay, now we just got to find our spacer. This here throwout bearing is pretty loud and rumbly too, and it's got a lot of rust rolling around in there. So okay, here we got all our steering clutch mechanism, operating mechanism there to this state. It's all taken apart. A couple of these nuts and those adjusting bolts were locked up so bad there, I had to put a few heat cycles to them and tap them with a hammer and get some snipes out. And yeah, but we all give up eventually when you get enough force on it, so they all come apart. These here stubs, I got them matched up with the proper end of the shaft, and I'm gonna have to take those into my machine shop in town there, and they'll weld them together and then turn the welding down so they're at the same diameter as the shaft. The shaft is kind of worn out in like areas where the bearing would ride. Right here it's been flat spotted, but I'm just going to polish them up and grease up the bearings, wash them out, grease them up, and put it all back together that way using these shafts. I do not think I have these shafts in the tickle trunk down there. I got a few of these cross arms and trunnions and adjusting bolts and stuff, but all this is workable. I'm going to reuse all this here stuff. So that's all we're going to do today. Is as far as this, I got a plywood cover. It started to rain not too long ago. It's kind of let up a little bit, but I think we're going to get a few showers here this afternoon, and so I just put a cover over top of the open transmission area, keep the rain from going in that area. But this here, I'm not really too worried about it. Sort of lubricated up now. It's got cover and oil on it, and I'll probably put it in a great big basket and start doing some scrubbing and cleaning in a corner of the yard. That's going to take a while. So anyway, we're going to wrap her up, call her a day. We'll catch up to you later. Bye for now.